What did I come in here for? Oh, why did I enter this room? Oh. This has all happened to us. Why do we forget what we're looking for when we come into a room? Why is it so common? Is something the matter with us? I'm here today to tell you exactly why this happens. And I'm going to tell you, is this normal? But before I do so, please hit the like button to help out the YouTube algorithm. First, let me paint a scenario. You're sitting in your living room and you think, God, I wish I had some chips right now. I'm going to go down to the fruit cellar. I'm going to get a bag of chips. You get up, you're walking. You might stop in the kitchen for a drink first, and then you make your way downstairs. You get to the fruit cellar, you open the door, and then you go, oh my God, what the heck was I looking for in here? And it might take you 5 seconds to think and remember why, or you might go back to sitting in the TV room and it might take you an hour to remember why. Why does this happen? And is it normal? First off, it is completely normal. This is just a normal part of aging. And it happens much more often the older we get. The first reason for this is with age, we become a lot more easily distracted. If you think back to this scenario, we're sitting in the TV room, we had that initial thought, we got up, but we didn't go straight to the fruit cellar. We stopped in the kitchen, we had a drink, and we might have talked to a family member. We walk down the stairs, a minute or two goes by. So when we finally get there, we don't remember why we're there. We had several distractions along the way. More easily distracted, more likely we are to forget the reason why we entered the room in the first place. Part 2, a lot more interesting. We know over the course of a lifetime, as we get older, we retain a lot more information. The amount of information a 60-year-old has been given over their lifetime is a lot more than someone who is 8 years old. Now with all that information, we store it up in our brain. So our brain is getting more and more filled with all this information. So what happens with age is it's a lot harder for us and it takes us more time to access all those information files in our brain. I'm going to make this a lot easier to understand going back to our example. We're sitting in the TV room. We initially think, I'm hungry, I want a bag of chips. They're down in the fruit cellar, I'm going to go get them. That's the initial thought. That file is stored in your brain. What happens is you get up and you stop in the kitchen, you get a drink, you talk to your wife, and then you walk down the stairs and you make your way to the fruit cellar. When you get there and you open the door, your brain has to retrieve the file telling you why you went there in the first place. So that initial file of, I'm hungry, I want a bag of chips, it takes your brain a lot longer to retrieve that file the older you get. Now, I said this is a normal part of aging, but this also sounds like Alzheimer's or dementia. And that's something you guys might be thinking of. But I'm here to tell you that this is not a sign of Alzheimer's or dementia because the file still exists. The reason you went down to the fruit cellar is still in your brain. And let's say somebody went down with you and prompted you as to why you were there, you would know. For example, let's say you went downstairs with your wife and you both entered the fruit cellar and you said, honey, I forgot why I came down here. And your wife said, well, it's probably something to do with food because we know food's in the fruit cellar. Because you're prompted in this situation, your brain's going to go, oh yeah, right, I'm hungry, I came here for a bag of chips. So that file was still in your brain. How this scenario would look in someone that has dementia or Alzheimer's would be this. You start in the TV room and you have the initial thought of you're hungry and you want to get a bag of chips out of the fruit cellar. But that file is not stored in your brain. It is gone. You may get up and you may walk and you might get to the fruit cellar, but by the time you're there, you have no reason why you're there. And no matter the amount of prompting or the time taken to remember why you're there is going to remind you. Normal part of aging, the file's stored in your brain. It's harder for you to retrieve it. It takes longer. Alzheimer's or dementia, you don't store any memory. That file is not in your brain. You are not going to remember. In summary, why is it that we forget why we've entered a room? Why does this happen so often? And why does it happen more often as we get older? With age, we're much more easily distracted. And because over our lifetime, we've accumulated so much knowledge and information that when we think of something and we go to do it, our brain, it takes it a lot longer to retrieve the reason for why we're doing it in the first place. I hope this video was very informative and it was really fun. If you guys have an experience with this, please leave it in the comment section.